Welcome to a Booze and Ball and Fantasy Football Shaken. He's not going to say not stir because that is not Dustin. We have a special guest, the stat man, the commish, the man, the myth, the legend. Joining us today to talk about rookies, post-combine, pre-draft. We like them for our dynasty teams. We like them for our regular teams. We like them for a year or two down the road, but we're going to have a conversation about 4 guys you like and 4 guys I like.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be here, Todd. And I get to sit here and talk about sports and going off base a little bit here. You know, a lot of my friends tell me that I like to talk, and my family tells me that I jibber jabber too much. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here.
I have never met a man who prepares more for a fantasy draft than you.
And here I am talking. See,
this man comes with his own table, set up, pictures, cards, everything. But I need to know, why are you the stat man?
Okay, I'll try to scale it down in like a minute or less here.
We got time.
So we got time. Great. I've always loved sports. I've always loved numbers, put the two together. And I have a long history of doing statistics I did it for high school teams, college teams, minor league football teams, and a certain unnamed NFL team. We'll keep them private.
No name team.
Yes, a very good team. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just all into numbers. And of course, you know, fantasy football, real football numbers. Just give me numbers, give me sports. I'll slice them, I'll dice them, and I'll serve them back to you.
And you're big into the college sports. You're deep into it. Like, you know more about college sports than almost anybody I know. And
you don't know a lot of people then, Todd.
No, well, I know. And with your job, you're big. You travel. You like to go see games, visit stadiums, type of stuff like that. So there's not a better study than you when it comes to that. Like, you're deep into the college. You'd rather go to a college game than a pro game.
Oh, absolutely. It's a lot more fun. You know, tailgating is a lot more fun.
Tailgating is a lot more fun.
It's all about the pageantry, right, of college football.
It's still pure. I love it. But we are talking about players we like, people coming in. We're going to start with tight ends, 2 tight ends. I'm going to go first with a guy who is a consensus number 1. But I know what you're going to follow me with, and I feel like it could go either way depending on landing spot. But obviously you got Kenyon Sadiq. Freak of nature. To me, he reminds me a lot of like the hype around Kyle Pitts when he came out. Yeah. That could be a wide receiver, tight end hybrid type of player. And then when he came out and jumped out of the gym and ran as fast as your wide receivers and running backs, like, he pretty much solidified himself as like the guy. Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is, what I find with a lot of college athletes is, it's funny, like they've got 3 years in college, right? But it's that final year that really does it. Because if you look back in 2024, he shared the tight end snaps with Terrence Ferguson. So like, he never got to be the guy. And then he gets 1 year of it, and he's a freak in nature. I like him coming out because he tracks the ball like a wide receiver. He's got great hands. He can catch off the body, which I really like for a tight end. His run blocking could use a little work, which bothers me, which is why...
You know, a lot of tight ends could use more run blocking.
But I know the guy you're going to talk about is a lot better at the blocking end. But I like him coming out of Oregon, 6'3", 241, perfect prototype, could play the slot if you need him to play the slot. Depending on his landing spot, I think he could go in your drafts before the big 3 wide receivers, depending how everything plays out. But he's easy. He's an easy one to talk about. But the biggest thing that I liked, like, he reminds me a little bit of like a Sam Laporta, but the toughness of Vernon Davis.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see him to end up with, the guys I'm talking about, it's funny. I went through my list and I'm looking, and a lot of them I want to land on my team. But Sadiq, I'd love to see in San Francisco. I feel like with George Kittle getting old, they don't really have a true guy coming up behind him. George Kittle says he's going to play next year, but he might not. But San Francisco could use that power tight end. And I don't know if they would draft him. They've got a lot of other needs, but I would really like to see him in San Francisco at this draft.
Yeah.
But as a homer, I'd love to see him be in Philly. But I think San Francisco, or I'd like to see him end up in Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. And you say about San Francisco, can you imagine if the 49ers got him and Kittle was healthy all year and they played him in tandem?
And a guy who, like, the attitude of Kittle, who is the type of guy who would teach a guy.
Yes.
No, he's not like one of these dudes who is too good to teach a guy, or like, hey, you're going to take my spot. He's a real person who would be like, hey, all right, I got 1 or 2 more years. We're going to share snaps. Let me tell you what I know. And in 3 years, Sadiq could be the number one tight end in the NFL for years to come.
And the 49ers team, I'm not a 49ers fan, but the almost we had a fumble,
I did what you said.
Almost had a fumble over here. Anyhow, we pregame this for no fumbles, but that's fine.
Did exactly why we gave you a different coaster.
Yes, I need a different coaster for my Sprite here. Yeah. So anyhow, the 49ers are a team that, they're in that window to win.
They are.
So if they start, if they can get depth at positions, then that way, say Kittle goes down, they don't miss a beat anywhere, right? They don't.
No. So it's a good, because right now with him not playing, you could tell that they were missing that third down, kind of like, as an Eagles guy, we call it third and about that possession, that hands receiver, that possession receiver on third down. Because Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings weren't it on like a third down guaranteed catch, where someone like Sadiq would be, or Kittle was before he got hurt. But that being said, you got a guy who could jump him and be the number one tight end off the board.
I do. But before we go to that, I have a little bit more to add about Sadiq.
Oh, I like it. Do it.
Just one thing. And, I did some research on him. I saw him play Sadiq one time and I say saw him play, where I actually sat down and took the time and I watched an Oregon game and I'm like, man, this guy is as good as they say, right? But the one thing, and it's in bold print in front of me here that I printed out, it's amazing. You touched on his athleticism. It says here, Kenyon Sadiq is as fast as Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, just everybody out there digest that. Kenyon Sadiq is a tight end. So he is as fast as Jahmyr Gibbs. And last time I checked, Jahmyr Gibbs was pretty darn fast. So,
yeah, I mean, he ran a 4.39.
So that's not bad, right?
4.39 for a tight end is nuts.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so I didn't think of it. I didn't think about it that way, as fast as Jahmyr.
Yeah, when you put in that perspective, yeah.
At 6'3",
yeah,
240 pounds. Yeah. That's insane.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's going to be a freak of nature.
That's why you wanted to talk about him today.
I love that. I'll tell you this. In dynasty drafts, everyone says that you got Love, you got Mendoza, and you got the three wide receivers as your 101 through 105. Yeah. And to me, I think you got to put Sadiq in that. He could go anywhere in the top 5 picks of a dynasty draft.
Am I allowed to mention to everybody out there that Todd has the 101 and the 102?
And I can tell you this, that there's a very good chance Sadiq is going to be out that board in one of those 2
102.
picks.
You know what?
I might take him 101 just to piss people off and then take Love 102.
I think you should do it to honor him. Just honor him. And so he finally got
to air before our draft, but that might happen.
Okay, great. Let's keep it that way. Yeah.
Oh, if that happens. All right. So who do you got here?
Okay, well, if you can see my shirt here, I dress
the man of many shirts.
I dress for the occasion. This is Vanderbilt.
Vandy.
Tight end. Who do you think I'm going to talk about?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
All right, Eli Stowers.
Eli Stowers.
Yeah, and I
like Eli Stowers.
You like him? All right.
I like Eli Stowers.
I generally am not drawn to players named Eli, but this guy is pretty good.
The Manning effect.
Yes, exactly. But it turned out all right for Eli Manning.
He did all right.
I was able to watch a little bit of Eli this year. I was flipping around and I'm like, Vanderbilt's doing good. And I'm like, I got to watch this tight end and see what he's all about. And man, he's pretty darn good. And the combine, I'm going to look at my data sheet here. He put up historic numbers. His vertical jump was 45.5 inches. It's a modern combine record for tight ends. And the second highest for any position since 03.
Because he got Sadiq by 2 full inches.
Yeah.
Sadiq was only 43.5.
Yeah. Oh, great. You had that number right there. I had to get it on my chart, but yeah. Broad jump, 11 feet, 3 inches. All-time combine record for the tight end position.
Really?
Broad jump.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but
he put together a combine.
The broad jump was an event that we had in elementary school for field day.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I bet he tore up field day in elementary school.
The Presidential Fitness Awards, when you had to do all those things back in the day.
Yeah. Wow. So I bet he has all these medals at home from field day and presidential.
I forgot. I forgot he was a 45.5 for the vertical.
Yeah.
I love the vertical because to me it's explosion power, and I think that's end zone. Out jumping people, being able to go up and come down with the ball. To me, the vertical means a lot.
Yeah. And if you have quarterbacks that can throw that 50-50 ball, say, look, just go to the corner. I'll put it up there where you can get it.
Yeah, just throw that out to the corner right there.
Just grab it.
He's coming down with it every time.
Yeah. 40-yard dash, 4.51, second fastest among tight ends of this entire class.
Only behind Sadiq.
Only behind Sadiq. So, we're starting off this discussion today, this podcast, with a lot of athletic tight ends. How about that?
If you would
have said 5-10 years ago that we would be here talking draft prospects and we're going to lead off with the tight ends, you'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever.
We talked about this on a couple episodes. Tight end position over the last, I would say, 3-ish years has really, since Kyle Pitts came in, 3-4 years has really changed. Where it used to be when you would, on a redraft, if you didn't get one of those top 2-3 guys, the Kelsey, the Kittle, like, you basically just said, okay, I'm going to wait till the end of the draft for a tight end. Now, there are 8, 10 startable tight ends. So it's not, the position has changed completely with depth. And I think a lot of that has to do with athleticism. Yeah. They're fast. They're still big, but they're faster. They play more like wide receivers, which is why, and Eli does the same thing that Sadiq does. Like, you could put him in the slot. You could let him run an out route and he would still do well.
Yeah.
Where old school tight ends like Antonio Gates they weren't doing that.
No.
But they were coming down with every ball you threw to them.
They were, yeah. And it just took them a while to get to the spot.
And they were going to run people over. Now they're getting, like, these tight ends run routes a lot better at 6'4" than some receivers do at 5'11", which is crazy.
That is crazy.
But these two guys, after them, I think the tight end class falls off a little bit, but there's still people out there. What's his name?
I know Max Clare's one of them out there.
Hold on. There's a guy who I liked.
Sure.
I got to find him. There was a guy who I liked too. Like, these two take the cake. I think they could both go, if depending on team needs, in the first round or 2 rounds of a dynasty draft. But the guy who I liked, yeah, Matt, you were saying that. He's a sleeper. I like Joe Royer too.
Help me out. Never heard of the average Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize. Everybody else is probably sitting there watching. It's like, yeah, we know who he is.
Out of Cincinnati, I liked him.
I watched Cincinnati once, but I wasn't watching them for Cincinnati.
I watched a couple of little clips and games of him, and I think he plays big. He doesn't play fast. He doesn't play flashy. He's one of those great in the red zone type of tight ends.
So it sounds
kind of like a Theo Johnson out of Penn State type of guy.
I would think, based on what you're telling me about this player, sounds like he would fit well on the team that it's already established. They're already a good team, and they just need someone to fit into their offense.
They need someone in the red zone.
Catch 6 or 7 touchdowns a year.
Because you don't have Calvin Johnsons like we used to. All the modern day receivers are smaller. And I think a tight end's key goal in the NFL today is being that red zone guy, being that touchdown guy.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there are some guys like Sadiq, like Eli, that could play between the 20s, not between the 20 and the red zone.
Right.
I mean, and the end zone. But like, to me, a Joe Royer is that type of big body. And I think he's going to be slept on. I think he's going to go somewhere and be good.
All right. A bonus sleeper.
A bonus sleeper. Outside of that,
great.
So we got to move on.
I just got one more. I just got one more thing to say about.
You can say as many more things as you want to say.
That's just one more thing on my list here. His quarterback IQ and how he can pretty much make any quarterback better. So, it's going to help his landing spot.
So where do you see him going?
Well, I'll let you know in a moment here. So, he had his background at quarterback at A&M New Mexico State. So he had a little background.
That's right.
At quarterback.
He did play a little bit of quarterback.
A&M and then New Mexico State. And then when he gets over to Vandy, then he's like, okay, tight ends, that's where I'm at. But the fact that he played quarterback is really going to help at a tight end position, because you have that intuitiveness. You know where the quarterback wants the ball. You know what he's going to do, and then it's almost like you're in sync. So wherever he goes, if he can get in sync,
he's going to make people happy.
He's going to make people better too.
Because they say, it's funny you say that, because a tight end is a quarterback's best friend, and he's going to be that best friend. Yeah. I forgot that he was a quarterback, kind of like Sadiq was a running back in high school.
Yeah, and before we move on, just drop some landing spots. I'll save the best one for last, but Denver. Could you imagine him going to Denver and working with Bo Nix?
I like that.
Sean
I like that, because I don't like it.
That's a good one.
Like, I like Evan Ingram, but he didn't fit there. I think that'd be great there. Yeah. I love Bo Nix. So.
And it's funny you say Evan Ingram, because he is an NFL comp to Evan Ingram, only probably a little bit more athletic. But that's kind of what they're saying. Evan Ingram on steroids, maybe.
I could see. Yeah, I think he's a little tougher. then like I think you can body someone up better than Evan
Yeah,
Ingram
he could
could.
box out a
But
little
I
bit
can see
better.
the comparison.
The other two landing spots, kind of watching is Dallas. Dallas seems to
Ooh.
draft like 1, 2 tight ends, and they already have 2 tight ends. They just
They like to
love
have 3.
they love tight ends, and then they can let one go the next year, and then like, don't worry, we
That
got
is
we got 2
true.
more, and I'm sure Dak could be like, yeah, give me Stowers.
Just give me all the targets.
Yeah,
you
we'll
can
feed
handle.
everybody the ball. You know, he'll be slinging it. But the one that, oh my goodness, fantasy wise, can you imagine if Joe Burrow had Eli Stowers to go with Jamar Chase,
Oh.
T. Higgins, and still have
Joe Burrow.
Jasicki? Why don't you just split everybody out wide?
Joe Burrow is yet to have a real tight end.
Right.
Before we move on.
Yes. Wardrobe change.
And we are back with a new shirt. This man has outfits on outfits on outfits, and I'm happy about it. We are moving. You're going to have to guess who this player is because I'm going to go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Guy I like. He's a little more up the board, not top. His last name seemed fake to me at first, Casey Concepcion, because like and you could build a concept of like what a wide receiver should be type of person. Like his name seems fake to me for so long. Out of A&M,
is he in the witness protection program?
right? It seems like a fake name, but he's built like we said earlier, like your prototype wide receiver. Actually, both the guys I'm going to talk about are the same thing. 6 foot, 196. I'm a little bummed he didn't do the combine, so we have to wait for pro days, which I'm a big combine fan. I hate when people don't. Even Jeremiah Love participated in the combine. So I hate when people don't do it. But I like Concepcion because he's the same reason I like Shimmery DK, who's on the Tennessee Titans right now. Wide receiver with the return game, ball in their hands, very dangerous, quick. I think he's a great wide receiver too for any team. I don't know if he has the route running. He's Chris Rizal, so he gets in and out of his breaks really quick. One thing I like about him is he's a slot wide receiver, but he can get and make cuts, and he's going to beat zone every time. He should be very good against man and the way he runs.
Beat zone every time.
Dude,
you can beat zone. You're moving the chains.
He's great at slot.
Right?
The problem is he'll be that third down receiver. I don't see him playing the outside, and I don't see him being like a real wide receiver one. I look at him like a George Pickens or a T. Higgins type of player where great number 2, because to be a number 1, you've got to play outside like Chase, like Jefferson, like A.J. Brown, like CD. Even Pickens plays a little more outside, but the way he moves without the ball, I love him. He's smooth. He's fast. He's sharp. He makes defenders trip up. And I love that about him. I just don't know. He's had drop issues throughout school, which is throughout college. I think he's got like 189 catches or receptions or whatever, and he had like 19 drops or something like that. So he's got a little bit of the hands issues. Great without the ball, great when he gets the ball, but not enough for me to say he's a wide receiver one. So I love him as a T. Higgins with more potential.
Okay. That's not bad.
I think there's a lot. This is why I like a lot of fits of him. To me, he reminds me a lot of like a Stephon Diggs type of player, or like a Jaden Reed, but better. I think better. To me, Jaden Reed's too gimmicky. He's just your speed guy, like a Tavon Austin back in the day, just more gimmicky. Where I think Casey Concepcion has the ability to actually play the wide receiver one role, but I think he's built for a number 2.
Yeah.
Like I said, George Pickens, and I had this on a podcast before and I ran the beer mile, and they asked me what I think of George Pickens. I say he's a true number 2. You put him in Dallas, and take him out of Pittsburgh, where you expect him to be the number 1. You put him in Dallas with CeeDee Lamb, and as the number 2, even when CeeDee was hurt, he became number 1, but he thrived in that like T. Higgins does. That's where I see Concepcion. In the right situation, he's like the Eagles, A.J. Brown to Smith, CeeDee and Pickens, Higgins and Chase. He's that perfect fit for that, which is why like I like him. He'd be great. He'd be a great complement to a alpha dog. But because he's fast, he's also going to give you that downfield where you don't have to worry about the possessions. But saying Diggs, though, take away that I see him as a wide receiver too. If he was to land in New England, it's kind of an interesting spot for him. It could be endless potential for the guy.
It could be.
Because there isn't a wide receiver one there.
No.
But the way that they're built with so much wide receiver talent, 2 good running backs, it's one of those few situations where you can take a speedster and turn him into a number 1 wide receiver. Kind of like Diggs did well.
And like you're saying with New England, it's that...
Again, I did the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't see it. There you go. But like you're saying, in New England, it's a little bit different. Even if he was the number one in New England, he wouldn't really be the number one because they spread the ball around so much.
They don't rely on like an alpha receiver.
I mean, he could be he'd be their hands down, be their best receiver there. But they got, like you said, they got running backs they'll throw it to. They'll throw it to Kyle Williams. They got tight ends. They'll throw it everywhere.
Yeah, it'd be a good fit for him because he can kind of step in and do exactly what Diggs did.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be any pressure for him.
You wouldn't think so. But the one thing that he had the drop issues. He's not the best blocker, but with the way he plays, you're never going to expect him to be maybe a little bit of run blocking here and there. But he's the guy you're sending out to go downfield anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, personally, I wanted to say like a fit. Like I like him. Pat's with everything the Dolphins did would be an interesting landing spot for him too. The fact that they've gotten rid of everybody.
They cleaned house. They got what Malik Washington's now their number one, I guess.
The fact
Dolphins.
that there's how did you get rid of your entire roster and not get fined by the NFL? Blows my mind.
Wasn't there a thing a while ago? Tank for Tua. Now it's like tank and get rid of Tua.
Tank and get rid of Tua.
Tank and get rid of Tua. I think that's what they're looking at.
A-Chain's sitting in that locker room going, damn. Like, I am going to get the crap kicked out of me every single week.
And he's probably talking to his agent now. I said, look, the agent's like, look, stay here one more year and we'll get you somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, because he's going to get 450 touches. Yeah. A-Chain's going to get 450 touches this year. All-purpose touches.
Is that the over-under?
It's got to be.
450. You heard it right here. I'm going to take 451. I'll take the over. I'll take the over. I'll take the over.
There's no way, but I love 6 foot, little bit bigger than Jefferson, a little bit bigger than Chase. I think he's there, but I think he needs to fit a situation to be the wide receiver number 2 is my guy.
Okay.
So hit me with your Husky.
Well, I'm about to, but before I hit you with my guys, I always got a little something about your guy before we roll.
I know you do.
Just a little nugget. A little nugget from Stat.
I live for your nuggets.
And this isn't from me. I just did a little research. That's all. This is strange. It's not a stat, really. It's just talks about his character.
Yeah.
Advocacy and character. Following an interview, this happened at the scouting combine, and maybe a lot of you saw this, and if you haven't, this is great. I love coming across this. He used a platform at the combine to talk about and address his lifelong stuttering issue that he had.
Oh, really?
And yeah, he did. And after facing a lot of mockery online about this, he was publicly embraced by speech impediment. He wanted to be a role model about this for others who are scared to speak up about this. That don't want to talk about this.
That's good. It says a lot about who he is.
That does say a lot about who he is. So his leadership and his character have been highly recommended by the Texas A&M coach for any team that takes him. I mean, that takes a lot right there.
Well, he's going to be good for locker.
Yes, he is going to be
He's not going to come in and be a head case.
No, which is why New England might be a good fit there.
It could be a great fit.
Vrabel, he's a player's coach, and he likes players like that are just going to come together.
Yeah, that'd be a good fit for him.
So you heard it here first from Todd over here that New England's where he's going to go. And what round in Dynasty should you consider him?
I think he should go the end. If you're a 10-12 man league, end of the first round. If he ends up in New England,
end of the first, wow.
I think because you're going to take the big. Well, depending landing spot, I want to say he's going to go anywhere from the 109 to the 112.
Okay,
what I would say.
I don't pick that high because I traded all my picks for Jeremiah, or gave away Jeremiah Love and got some other good guys. So you could tell me that because I'm not taking him. I
think people are going to take flyers on some. Are going to take some flyers on some people like Denzel Boston. Depending where he lands, could go a little bit ahead of him. Okay. But I would say he's going to go 109-ish. I'll tell you, if I had the 108, 109, I'd be taking him right there.
Great.
Which I'm trying to get those picks.
Well, good for you. Yeah. All right. You want me to hit you with my Husky?
Hit me with your Husky.
Hit me with your Husky. All right. I knew who I'm going to talk about. It's time to ring the bell. Skylar
Bell. I love that you got shirts for all this. This is great.
Skylar Bell. I got a lot for him, but if I need to scale it down here, it's being called the UConn revival story. Because who does this nowadays? He reportedly turned down a $500,000 NIL offer from Michigan of all places, after the 24 season. And he decided to come back to UConn and finish what he started.
Really?
Talk about character.
You turned that down to play back and just come back to UConn
Yeah, I
and
said,
play.
no, thank you, Michigan. I'm going to come back to UConn and finish what I started. That's pretty cool. I did not see him play this year. Kind of heard about him, but when I started digging up these numbers, holy cow! Like,
and I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about him. I've heard the name. I've heard.
I'm just gonna verbatim run down what he did. 101 receptions, almost 1,300 yards to go with 13 touchdowns.
In what, 2 years or 3?
No, this is his one.
That's
last
1
year.
year.
Last year, this is what he did. He led the country with 7 100-yard games. Now, a lot of you out there saying, "Oh yeah, he didn't play in the Big Ten." A lot of times, I say just throw him out the window. Remember a guy named Randy Moss that played for Marshall, who just lit it up? And he plays at Marshall. Well, last time I checked, he was a Hall of Famer, right? So it sometimes doesn't matter where you're playing.
Think about it. Let's say you play a bigger like A&M, but Concepcion only had 61 receptions for 919 yards.
Yeah.
So that means a lot. That means you're relied on. You're going to. You got the hands. You can handle the load.
Yeah. Let's see. He's from the Bronx. First ever UConn player to earn first team All AP honors. First team. He was a first team receiver, All AP. This goes back to what you were saying about Concepcion, that they're also saying that this guy is a smooth operator. Like, he is so smooth out there. You ready for this? I'll give you one guess at this. His favorite move, his favorite route. So if you could guess one route that a receiver will, what's his favorite one? Because he can just, he's got you.
Hitch. They like the comeback.
No.
Don't say it's a go route. What?
The sluggo, the slant and go.
Oh.
The slant and go route is his bread and butter because he is so shifty.
He
has got you. I'm sure if there are any NFL DBs out there watching this, they're going to be like, yeah, all right, let him come to my house.
We'll
see how good he is. We're going to beat him up a little bit.
And he's quick. What, he ran a 4.4?
Or
if I know he's said to have like a 4.
You nailed it. 4.4.
4.4.
You ran a 4.4 40.
So he's got some speed to him.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here.
What's his
yak yards. He's a yak legend. Last year, 835 of his yards were after the catch. So,
out of how many?
Out of
1,300, you said?
Yeah, 1,300. Nearly 1,300. Yeah.
So wow,
about
roughly 70% of his yards were after the catch.
Yes,
that's insane.
That's not bad.
That's not just bad. That's good.
That's good. So, I mean, we could sit here and talk about our players all day, but my favorite part of talking about these players really is where I think they can land and who their comps are. So I'll get to that. I love this part, right? Okay. I got 2 landing spots that would be pretty good. Cam Ward needs some help down there in Tennessee. I think Tennessee's trying to get it together.
They are.
I think my favorite one, the team that is 2 years away from being in the playoffs. I think they're knocking on the door as soon as they draft Mendoza this year.
The Raiders.
Yes, if they get Mendoza and then they snag Skylar Bell, they already got Genty. They already got Bowers. They got Tom Brady in the front office.
They got Michael Mayer, the other backup.
They got Michael Mayer, the forgotten man. He's pretty good. Like, don't you think if they drop this Bell guy in there?
I think Zach Besh steps up to be more in the slot too. They've got another talent there.
Like we're going off tangent here about the Raiders, but I think
I can see that fit. They don't have a receiver like him.
No, they don't.
That'd be good.
I would love to see that. And then what's even more exciting, I'm getting excited about is the NFL comps, because all these guys I really like. Chris Olave. They're saying he could be a Chris Olave. Stephon Diggs in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Or, as you know, one guy that I just acquired recently from you, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're thinking that he is
kind of
could be like these guys. Now, keep in mind, it's not going to happen year 1, but maybe by year 2, all of a sudden.
But he's one of those guys picked.
He's a household name.
If you're in like a dynasty draft, you're picking him up in the later rounds and saying, I'm going to sit on him for a year and see what happens.
I'd go late 2 or 3. I would not let him get to
just
the 4th round. Yes, sit on him for a year. kind of like, I'll throw this name out, a guy that I sat on for a year now, Luther Burden III. I have him, and he's
Mhm.
in his second year. So I'd see that with Skylar Bell. Give him a year, get acclimated to the NFL and the DBs,
Mhm.
and then hook up with Mendoza, and there you
Give
go.
Mendoza a year, give him a year.
Yeah, give him a year too.
If he ends up with the Raiders, I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
All right, I got another wide receiver I'm gonna move on to, but
Oh,
before we do,
oh, what? Oh,
that
oh, oh, snap! You snapped. You know what? I
you
guess.
didn't
I guess.
change.
I guess the DeLorean didn't hit top speed because we're stuck here in the present. But you know what? Since I have it on, I'd like to give you one more thing about Skylar Bell.
Please do.
All right, because you're an Eagles fan, right?
I
Am I
am.
allowed to say that? I just did.
You can, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
What would you think if Skylar rang the bell in Philly?
I'd be fine with it. I think we need that. I think he'd be a great compliment to go with AJ Brown's going to leave, but I think he'd be a great
So what
number
do you
3
say?
wide
Brown
receiver.
leaves, and then you got Smith and Bell.
It all would depend.
Brown's leaving at some point.
It
We
would all
know
depend
that.
if Smitty can handle that wide receiver 1 role, which I think he can. But I think if someone's going to allow Smitty to do that, you have a faster, more agile receiver in Skylar Bell. So I think it could work. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So it doesn't depend on Skylar.
Okay.
It depends on Smitty.
Great. All right, fair enough. All right.
All right, we tried the wardrobe change. It didn't work.
So what do you? Yep. Don't worry. We're gonna keep trying.
I'm going with my
do you got?
favorite wide receiver in this draft.
Okay.
And he became my favorite when he shit on my college team for a touchdown, Omar Cooper Jr.
Ooh.
Because
Yeah.
when I saw him and what I loved about him before the combine, before anything, was his field awareness. When he went up for the touchdown against Penn State and came down with the ball, toe tap, knowing where he was on the field, got both feet down. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
Guy with hands catches. What I like about him is he catches off the body. He doesn't need to be in front of the ball. Great hands and great field awareness. To me, I want him to end up in Philly if we lose AJ Brown.
Okay.
He's my favorite. If I could pick a wide receiver for the Eagles to pick up, it's Omar Cooper Jr.
Nice.
And that's a homer pick for me. But again, 6 foot, 196, 4'4", 240. Vertical isn't that great, but he's got the hands to complement for it. He's got a big wingspan. He's good. He can run block, good pass block if need be. Doesn't really need to when he goes out, but he's great on the run block. Can play all positions. And to me, it's just that field awareness is huge. Because I think it takes wide receivers a long time to develop just awareness of where you are on the field. And watching him play, and even he wasn't the number 1 wide receiver in Indiana's run.
No.
But he was intricate in that run. It wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have got there without him. He was great on possession. And they threw a lot to him to the sidelines because they always knew he was going to know where the ball was at.
Yeah, he was very well known across the nation. And when you thought of Indiana, you thought of him. But like you said, they had 3 really good receivers.
Yeah, and he was the most recent one to declare for the draft. But I look at him like, it's funny you said that. I look at him like a Luther Burden type of player.
Yeah.
Kind of build, kind of the way they play, but I like his hands better. I love a guy who can go up like you would watch, like Odell Beckham back in the day, Randy Moss, like you said before, who can go up and just come down with the ball, whether it's here, whatever. The hands, and then also knowing where you are on the field. Because if you watched him in the national championship run, whenever he caught the ball, you could always see he was looking, he knew where he was at.
Yeah.
And that's big to me.
Yeah.
He's not playing like some of the college rules where you got to get 1 foot down or not knowing where you are to catch the ball. That was big to me. I love a possession receiver. I miss the old days of the Calvin Johnson type of receivers that just throw me the ball, I'm going to come down with it.
Right.
And I look at him like he could be that guy. And that's what it's more of an eye test to me, which is what I liked about Puka back in the day. When I saw him in the combine, I watched him in the combine. I'm like, he just passes that eye test of like, he just knows ball. He's aware. He's a go-getter type of guy. Because there was this kid in high school that we played with, but he always said, his dad always taught him, he said, if it touches my fingers, it comes home with me.
There you go.
And like, it's a weird thing. It's always stuck with me. So when I look at wide receivers, like if it touches your hands, it's coming home with you. So like, and the way I look at Omar Cooper Jr. is he's like that guy where like, if he can reach it, he's coming down with it. A lot of like Odell Beckham used to be in the day.
You know who I'm starting to think of, a receiver that I really loved? I loved watching him as an NFL player and fantasy. I always wanted to try and get him on my team. Larry Fitzgerald.
Same type
Right?
of thing. Actually, that's a great comp to him too. I didn't think
I
about
loved
that.
watching him. He was amazing, and if the ball was coming his way, you knew 99.9% of the time it's coming home with him.
That's
right?
that's actually a
Larry
very
Fitz.
good comparison for
Fitz
Omar
from
Cooper
Pitt.
Jr.
Yeah.
Him and Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Two guys that you just literally just said that made me think of like two guys that I look at when I watched him play.
Cooper
who
was
I
a very
good
receiver.
Same type of guys.
Well, Cooper.
I didn't try that.
I know.
I didn't try that, but it happened.
See, you're that good.
But he wasn't. The problem is because he was always a number 2 on the team. Like even being a number 2 or number 3 receiver on the team last year, 69 receptions, 937 yards, 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
From not being the number 1 wide receiver on a team shows you that he's talented enough and relied on enough that he's worth. To me, in a 10-12 man league, he should be going the end of your first round in most drafts. Makes me bothered. I'm not going to be able to get him, but I got the 1 and 2 pick. So
you know what, Todd? If I get him in like the 2nd or 3rd round, I'll come knocking for a trade like I always do.
There you go.
See, it's good we're doing this right now before our draft or Todd's league's draft because I can go ahead and see who I need to scoop up.
There you go. Oh, actually, one more thing about him. I wanted to say, I forgot this.
Yeah.
So
I got
you mentioned yards after the catch.
Yeah.
Average 7.3 yards per yards after the catch.
Wow.
That's good.
20-yard catch is almost a 30-yard catch, right?
So like the guy, like his
5-yard catch is a first down.
His field
catch is a first.
He's going to be a steal for a lot of teams.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. What do you got on?
No, that's good.
What do you got on?
I just got 2 small. That was good stuff. I learned a lot about Omar Cooper that I didn't know.
I love that guy. He's my favorite wide receiver in this
just
draft.
A couple, and these are all numerical stats, of course, coming from the stat man.
Stat man.
I don't care if it was against Indiana State, and I don't know if Indiana State was decent last year, but he had 4 touchdowns and 207 yards receiving. They probably pulled him at halftime. I don't know.
That's it, probably.
But here's one. This is more interesting. He had a 75-yard rushing touchdown. So what I'm getting at is they could do an end around, they could do a lateral, whatever. It sounds like just get him the ball.
Well, yeah, running a 4.
Just get him the ball. Line him up in the backfield. It's like,
well, yeah, think about 4.42. He's got speed. He's got enough. You know, someone online, I didn't see it as much, but someone online gave a comp with Debo.
There you go. If Cooper's running 75 yards for a score,
I understand
Debo,
why
just
you
give
would do
him
that.
the ball, right? Debo,
right. I didn't see it as much as some. That's why I didn't like it as a comparison. Sure. But like, I mean, I guess with that maybe the rushing upside.
But maybe it's an anomaly. Maybe they, but whatever. Just jump. I'm like, just give him the ball.
Give him 75-yard rushing touchdown. Why not?
Because you kind of fear, like you said, if the ball's in his hands, the ball is home, and now he's going to take it for a home run.
Yeah, for a possession receiver who can also move after the catch. That's what I like about him. All right. Yeah. Give me your non-Husky guy.
Yeah, this is a non-Husky. I didn't ever travel to this school, so I didn't. That's why I don't have anything.
And you've got darn near every college.
I got
on
a
earth.
lot of stuff. So if I'm invited back to do one of these, I'm sure I'm just going to talk about people I got stuff for.
There you go. Just bring the stuff.
Just bring the stuff. All right.
Who brings a duffel bag to a podcast? This guy.
There you go. Oh, I'm going to love talking about this guy. Really, the draft sleeper turned star.
Oh, I love this guy,
he
too.
Loves him, a running back. All right.
I have a spot for this guy.
Mike Washington Jr.
The man who's not afraid to cry on camera.
Yeah, you got to love that.
Gotta love that.
Yeah,
this
is emotion, right. This is right out of Jerry Maguire.
That's right.
Little Rod Tidwell reference. I found a way to work 2 Arizona Cardinal references in already.
You did.
Barry Fitzgerald and Rod Tidwell. Yes.
Oh my God.
Show me the podcast.
I love Mike Washington.
Yeah,
I think he is so.
Go ahead, talk a little bit about him, and then I'll go.
Ahead. No, I'm not. No, I liked him. I did a podcast. I did a little thing of who I'm watching in the NFL Combine. And I said with a good combine, he's going to go from running back 10 to a top 5 running back, and with his combine, he did it.
Yeah,
because he showed like he's got all. And then the fact that he sat down and cried and was happy and passionate about it just gives a lot about who the type of person he is.
He showed his heart,
and I like that about him. So I think 4.34. That's quick. That's quick at what? 6'1", 223. That's quick.
Yeah, you nailed it right on there. Yeah, it's just what am I going to throw at you?
He's
how about this? He was a man on the move. Started at Buffalo, then he went to New Mexico State, and finally, once he got to Arkansas, that was his breakout year. Isn't that crazy? So he didn't break out in Buffalo, didn't break out in New Mexico State, but he goes to the SEC at Arkansas and says, you know
then
what?
breaks out.
I'm ready.
He's like, I'm on a big stage. Let me show you what we got.
Yeah, let me show you what you got. And that big stage, 12 games, almost 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6.4 yards a carry. This is against SEC competition, by the way, SEC, right? Here's the other thing, and this might tie into, I didn't look to see how many carries he had at Buffalo, New Mexico State. Maybe he wasn't getting the rock. However, he had workhorse potential, right? You know why he has workhorse potential in the NFL is because there's a lot of other top running backs that had over 1,000 carries on his mileage. He only had 588 carries in college. Most of them were probably at Arkansas.
He had 157 in 2024 in New Mexico, and he had 90 in Buffalo and 150 the year before in Buffalo. So that's what I was going to say. I was going to come back.
That's great. Thanks for having those numbers at your fingertips when I say, hey, I'm not sure what he did over there.
Because I knew one thing I said about him was like, he is a sleeper 3-down back. Speed. And if you think about it, receiving wise, 28 receptions for 236 yards last year. So he's proficient in receiving game.
Yes.
He's not Gibbs.
No.
But he's enough to make you scared.
Yeah. To make you scared, right?
Right. He's enough to make a linebacker go like, oh, is he going to go?
You know what he does? Maybe we should coin this, not to coin the phrase, but we need, many years ago, I came up with a stat for this, but don't anybody try and steal it, right?
Don't steal it.
It's the fear factor. And I came up with a statistical analysis for how dangerous is a player when they touch the ball. So it's basically yards per touch, and scoring and big plays, and he's your fear factor.
He might be
he's a fear factor player, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. With his size alone, playing like a smaller back, running like a smaller back, but also having the durability of a bigger back, like he's a little bit of everything.
I mean, we're not here to talk about the Ohio State wide receiver because we all know he is the biggest threat. We're here to talk about these other guys, but he's not like him when he touches the ball. But this is a home run threat waiting to happen.
I'm really curious to see who you have as a comp because I have some in my mind right now. I'm very curious.
Well, let me look. See if I have any other.
I love this guy too. Like I know, like if people in our leagues watch this, I'm not going to get him where I want to get him, but like I'm a little bummed that he's going to go. I'm going to have to make some trades to get him.
Tell you what, let's alternate. You're saying comps, not landing spots, right?
I say comps.
All right, so then I
have 2 comps I like
have 2 comps also. So let's go to comps first, and then I'll give you my landing spots. So comps, you go first. I have 2. And you have
I have 2. You want both of mine?
Give me one, then I'll give you one. We'll see if we can.
Quinshawn Judkins.
No, I did not have that. Okay. All right.
I like him.
That. You have to go back a ways. Both of mine, you have to go back a ways, but Latavius Murray.
Ooh, I love. Yeah, way faster than people give him credit for. Latavius Murray was fast.
That was back in the day.
Dude, I love him. Oh, I love Latavius Murray.
Yeah, he was a good fantasy
oh, my God. Yeah, I had to have him back in the day. Like, I made dumb trades for him back in the day.
Wow. I wish I would have done you back then.
I love Latavius Murray.
Okay.
So slept on for his speed.
He was.
Big back who was fast. Same thing.
Big back. Okay. What's the other one?
Le'Veon Bell.
Okay.
The running style, the upright running style, a little bit of speed, a little bit of durability with some hands.
You are right. So the guy I'm going to say upright, see if you can guess, upright running style, one of the
you're going back?
Back in the day, one of the all-time leading rushers.
Don't go with LaDainian Tomlinson.
No. Adrian Peterson.
Same
upright,
same type of thing.
I mean, you could say Eric Dickerson ran upright too.
That's true.
He kind of, yeah.
That worked.
So we are in agreement, right? That with all these comps and everything we talk about, this guy is
in
the
the
guy
right
to take.
landing spot. He could be the number 2 running back in this draft.
Great segue. So here's some landing spots, right? And there were a lot of landing spots. So I'll go from the least maybe favorable, at least I think, to the ones that slam dunk. Atlanta, maybe. I mean, you got Bijan there, but.
Yeah, I could see it. It'd be a horrible spot for him, but it would work.
Yeah.
For his fantasy potential, bad. NFL, good spot.
Yeah. Now it starts to get good, right? I'm moving up the ladder here. New England.
Oh, get rid of
Somebody's
Ramondre Stevenson.
That's what I mean. Somebody's going to have to skedaddle.
With him
right?
and Travion Henderson as a 1-2, that'd be interesting.
Yes. Okay. Now the team that just keeps signing running backs and signing running backs, I think he would carve out a role. Houston. He would find a way to maybe be the lead guy there. I mean, they got a ton of backs there.
He'd come in the best running back on that team.
He would, and that would shift the people out the door.
Montgomery would be so pissed because he just got out from underneath Gibbs.
I know,
and then bring him in.
Maybe Montgomery would turn into an All-Pro then. Maybe, who knows if you had those two? Maybe CJ would be a better quarterback. Maybe if they had.
I like it. I like him there.
But here's the one that I love. The Super Bowl champion, Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh.
No Walker.
I think he's better.
You got Carbonays coming off an injury. If you had Zach and...
You know what's funny is I think... I got to look at the stats, but I think he's a lot like K9.
Great.
But I think faster.
Then they just plug him in.
Yeah, that'd actually be a good fit.
And try to go win another Super Bowl.
Charbonnet be pissed.
Well,
but I see it.
You know what?
I saw a stat I wanted to say. So
yeah,
he had a 92-yard run at Bowling Greens is still Buffalo's longest touchdown run in program history.
Look at that.
Still holds it years later. All right, should we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
I don't disappoint me here, but I think we need to do something first. Now that
we're back
is a wardrobe change.
Yeah. Look, I can't wait till it's my turn.
That's a funny shirt.
I can't wait till it's my turn.
Do you want to go first on this one?
No,
you deserve it. Are you sure?
I want to go last.
You want to be the cleanup?
I want to back clean up.
All right. So the guy I'm going to go with is my consensus, and I can say consensus it's not one person, but it's my number 2 running back off the board. However, if you want to take Mike Washington Jr. second off the board, I'm fine with it. I like Jonah Coleman. A lot of people think Jadarian Price is the number 2. I don't like backup running backs being overvalued until you see what they are by themselves, which is why I put Jonah Coleman ahead of him. And I probably put Mike Washington at 3 and Jadarian Price at 4. My ranking, write that down. But Jonah Coleman out of Washington, little smaller, 5'8", 220, but runs like an undersized, like not Derrick Henry, but that style, that wrecking ball type of style. I'm going to say it early on. He's Doug Martin.
Yeah,
he's the muscle hamster. I'm saying, get it out of the way early.
Remember,
who doesn't remember Doug Martin?
Yeah.
The muscle hamster.
He was good. The muscle hamster. That was one. That's one of the classic nicknames for a
best
player.
Nicknames you could have in the
muscle
NFL.
Hamster.
Because not the biggest guy, but just ran hard. And that's what I see out of Jonah Coleman. He doesn't have like the top end speed, but he's quick. Like, so he's the guy that has like that. If he sees a hole, that 1, 2, 3 steps, he'll get to top speed quick. The problem is his top speed isn't breakaway, but he runs hard, runs heavy. He runs like a bigger back. He runs bigger than 5'8", and I like that about him. He could be that goal line type of back, like a smaller Henry, like a smaller AP, like a smaller Doug Martin. He's Doug Martin. It's so hard to not look at him and not see Doug Martin, because Doug Martin wasn't the fastest, but he made a career out of just being tough. And that's what I see out of Jonah Coleman. And that's why I like him. I do.
You really like him.
He had 193 carries in 2024, had 156 carries in 2025. Now, his yards went down in 2025, but he had 15 touchdowns in 2025 as opposed to 10. And then he had 23 catches in 2024 and 31 catches in 2025. So he can, again, get outside a little bit to catch it. But he runs low, runs hard, and he breaks tackles, which I like about him. He's a little wrecking ball. I love a little wrecking ball because you don't see that enough in the NFL. Like, I miss the bus. I miss just running through. Like, I like Cam Scatterbo.
You miss those guys.
I miss those guys. I like Cam Scatterbo, but Cam Scatterbo takes it a little bit over the edge. But I like Jonah Coleman to come into a situation the Saints just signed. Oh my God.
You're talking about ATN or
ETN.
Yeah.
So, like, he's a perfect come-in compliment to ETN. and be that goal line back for the Saints.
I mean, they still got Kamara for now, but he's a totally different player.
Right. They don't have like that meathead runner. That guy.
Well, he wasn't a meathead runner per se, but the Saints. But remember Mark Ingram?
Mark Ingram.
He was a beast.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Mark Ingram was a character, dude. He was.
He still is. He does that Big Ten game day show. Big Ten. Oh my God. Kickoff. Mark Ingram's on there. He's good.
Was it when he went to the Ravens? When he was?
Oh yeah, he went to the Ravens.
The press conferences with him and Lamar were hilarious.
Yeah, big trust. Mark Ingram.
Yeah, that
was good stuff.
Mark Ingram was
he's a character.
He was a great time to watch. But yeah, like that type of
Ingram,
that type of compliment.
Runner.
He to me he's the we mentioned earlier, the David Montgomery to Gibbs.
Yeah,
he's gonna fit.
He would fit really nice there.
He'd be great in Dallas.
Yes.
To accompany Javonte Williams.
Yes.
Because Javonte Williams is that back. He'd be great in Denver to complement RJ Harvey or Dobbins. He'd be great there.
What about with your team?
He'd be great there. He'd be like, although I see if we keep Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, that's the thing. What are you
Tank Bigsby is kind of hybrid.
Yeah.
Like I think with Bigsby, it wouldn't be a good signing, but if we got rid of Bigsby, I think it'd be a great rookie signing right there. Because I don't think he's enough to be a number one. I don't think he's a number one back.
Right.
But I think he's like Montgomery gave you fantasy value. And look at Scatabo. Scatabo came in with Tyrone Tracy and they ended up using him more. So I think he does have fantasy relevance as well as NFL relevance in the right landing spot.
Yeah.
He just runs hard. I like a guy who just runs hard, which is why everybody loved Cam Scatabo. Named him wrong.
Yeah. Cam. Well, he didn't get a concussion.
Concussion
Scatabo. Yeah, I believe it was an ankle injury. Or
surprisingly enough, the injury that took him out was not a concussion.
No.
But no, I like him. Like I say, doesn't have the breakaway speed, but he runs hard. He'll get through he'll get you the guaranteed yards, and he makes you miss. So I think like he
is it sounds like he's an NFL player.
Yeah.
Fantasy. Here and there, maybe
fantasy, not so much.
But
which is why
he's an NFL.
Which
player.
is why I say, like, I think I hold more fantasy value to like Washington Jr.
Right.
than I do over Jonah Coleman.
Yeah.
But in the right position, like if you think about it, people who drafted Montgomery when paired with Gibbs could start Montgomery every week and got fantasy RB2 upside. Yeah. So I think in the right position, he could be a fantasy RB2. Yeah. Landing spot's going to be everything for him.
Yeah.
But he's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch, like Doug Martin was.
Yeah. And so kind of what you're saying also is for him to have some fantasy relevance, he might be that goal line back as well.
Mm-hmm.
They might use him to get down the field, but if there's first and goal at the 5, they're probably just feeding it to him twice,
like
and he's
Jamal Williams. That's my 2 cents.
Oh, I got.
I know you got something on him.
You had about 10 cents. So I'll just give you.
You're the stat man. Give me your stats on him.
This is well, I think you alluded to it over there a little bit on how he's going to be utilized, but he has the potential to play 3 downs if needed.
He's built durable to be a 3-down back.
He can be if
100%.
If he's the number 2 back and the number 1 needs a blow for a series, put him in. He's going to play 3 downs for that series, and he can catch the ball. He can run with the ball, so you can keep him on the field. Right?
Yeah, he's built like a 6'2" hefty back. He's just a little small.
Yeah,
but he plays bigger, which I'm fine with that.
That's your Doug Martin guy.
I agree 100%. Like he could definitely be that type of guy who stays on the field.
And here's something I just found very, very interesting. Had nearly 400 career touches in his college career. Ready for this? He only lost 1 fumble.
You know,
he touched the ball. Did you? I
did have that written down. I didn't say.
You
I
had
forgot
that?
to say that. Yeah.
Say it. Go ahead and say it.
I was going to say.
Go ahead and say it.
He does not. He does not fumble.
Yeah, give me the stats. What back it up.
No, I said it was 390 some carries.
You are correct because it said nearly 400.
I think it was 393 or 396. I don't have it written down, but it was.
You had it. Good job. I just felt that was amazing because
I forgot
coaches will see that and they will draft him just for that reason.
I forgot that. Yeah, one fumble in 390 some
carries.
That's insane.
So the guy I want to talk about is running back Emmett Johnson from the University of Nebraska. I'm not going to hide my lineage. I'm proud of my lineage. I am from Nebraska, born in Nebraska, and big time Cornhusker fan. I got a lot of cool numbers to share with you, but I'll start out with obviously Todd. I've watched pretty much every game that he's played.
You have seen this man play.
I've seen him play, and he's played for 3 years, but really his breakout season was this last year. Toward the end of the year, they were trying to figure out who the running backs were going to be that 2 years ago, and then he took over the Pinstripe Bowl when they won the bowl game up in Yankee Stadium, and they kind of figured out heading into last year. They're like, we are hitching our wagon to this guy.
Because who was he with last in 2024? Who was
Nebraska?
No, I'm saying who was the other running back in 2024?
Here's something, Todd. I can't tell you the name because it was a guy that came from Oregon.
I know who I'm.
It was a guy, and the reason I can't tell you is because that's the kind of situation they were in running backs. They were doing it by committee. It was a guy that came over from Oregon and scored a lot of touchdowns, and then he decided he wanted to leave because that wasn't good enough. Thankfully he did, because Emmett Johnson said, "I got this. We're going to take it from here." And Todd's going to look that up, though. It was
Dante Dowdle.
Yeah, there you go. Dante Dowdle. Now I remember. He had a decent season. We're not here to talk about him, but
he was the lead back in 2024. So as soon as Emmett Johnson got the reins, he was no looking back.
Johnson was getting some playing time, and they're like, who do we go to? So Dowdle up and left. So that left the bowl game open. He did really well in the bowl game, and then last year he took over the reins. One player he reminds me of, just because of his size, he's not that big.
No, he's 5'10".
Yeah, but he can do a lot. And maybe it's because his first name's Emmett.
Are you going there?
He reminds me of Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith was not the biggest man.
No, and that's as far as I might go in that regard. Then again,
I think his receiving game is better than Emmitt Smith's, though.
It is way better. But also, Emmitt Smith wasn't that fast. Emmett Johnson is not that fast.
Oh, what was Emmett Johnson's 40?
But yeah, go ahead and look that up. I probably have it here on my sheet.
4.5-ish, something like that.
He's not fast, but he has every game I watched last year, the announcers were in awe of his footwork. He has some of the best footwork in the backfield and to get to the line of scrimmage and within 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. In other words, he makes those little moves to get away from a tackle in the backfield. He crosses the line of scrimmage, and he makes one more move.
That's all you need.
And then the next thing, he is like 20 yards downfield. So that is really one of his big traits that he has. You alluded to it already. He can catch the ball. That's really where he's gonna work.
Do you know what he had his last year as far as catches?
Yeah, let's run down some numbers here, and then I got a few other things.
I'm glad you talked about him, because I have him as in my top 5 of running backs out of this draft.
Yeah, I mean he had.
I put him above Nick Singleton and Kaytron Allen.
As you should.
Like, people are going to sleep on it, but I put him right there with Jonah Coleman, Jadarian Price, Mike Washington, and Emmett Johnson.
Yeah. So rushing, he had 1,400 rushing, 12 touchdowns.
1,400 is nuts.
1,400 rushing, 12 rushing touchdowns. Yards per game, about 121 yards per game. Touchdowns per game, average a touchdown a game. I'm just picking out
That's good average.
I'm just picking out the things that are jumping off the chart. Last year he was the number 4 rusher in the nation.
Yeah. 1,400 yards ought to put you up there.
He picked up speed as the season went on, which started getting him on the Heisman radar and offensive player radar, right? So he picked up steam. Here's one, all-purpose. He was number 3 in the nation, 1,800 all-purpose yards, because he had rushing and receiving. How about this? Last time I checked, wasn't the Big Ten probably the best conference in the country last year, would you say?
I would say yes.
Yes, okay. So in the Big Ten, these are just Big Ten numbers. He led the entire Big Ten in average yards per scrimmage per game. In Big Ten games, he averaged 130 yards from scrimmage. That's rushing and receiving, 130 a game.
Yeah, because they play how many games average on the year? So
they play 12 games. So
yards.
they play 9. They play 9 in the Big Ten. So he was dominating the Big Ten. If you dominate the Big Ten, you're a pretty good player.
Yeah, you're pretty good.
Second highest single season reception total by running back in Nebraska history. He had the second most
It was 46 receptions last year.
Yeah, it was the second high.
46 is insane.
I'd speculate. I should have looked this up. I'd speculate a guy by the name of Roger Craig probably has the record. I don't know if you remember Roger Craig of the 49ers. Maybe you're too young.
He's second highest with 46, right?
Yeah.
The year before that, he had 39.
Yeah.
So he was still like his receiving game is key.
Yeah. The big games, like I said, I've seen them all. I mean, that's what I do on the weekends when Nebraska's playing. I remember watching these games. All right, you ready for this? I know they lost big to Iowa, their rival, the day after Thanksgiving. But in that game, he had 239 all-purpose yards and 1 touchdown.
Jeez.
He rushed for 217. 217 in a losing effort.
So 239 is like just a couple catches.
So the UCLA game was really like his big breakout game last year near the end of the season as well. He had 232 all-purpose. He had a 100 game. He was 129 rushing, 103 receiving. By the way, he took 3 to the house that game. And just, another game wasn't as good, but it's pretty darn good. I mean, at Maryland, that was a big comeback win. 196 all-purpose. No touchdowns, but he ran for 176.
So where do you... You say is your comp Emmett Smith or what's your best comp for him?
No.
I'll say this: so his 4.5, 40 time is not a showcase for the speed. His on-field speed, I think, is better than what the 40.
Yeah, that's a good analysis. His on-field, he's quicker, he's shifty and quicker.
Yeah.
He's not going to outrun you. I will tell you right now from watching his games, he is not going to get you a 50, 60, 70 yard touchdown. He will not. He can get you a 20, a 30, a 40. However, if he catches the ball and he's already moving, he will not be caught. And that's where he scored some of these super long touchdowns. He was in a pass route. He caught it. He's gone.
That's why I think players like that, where like you don't need, like the 40s are great. That is if you hit that gap.
Yes.
And and you can beat the linebacker past, you're gone. Where he might not get that, but he might go past and get you 10, 15 yards. So game speed and speed are different. It's just different style running backs.
Yes. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to break off those super long runs. He's got to break a tackle or be
people
ahead
didn't
of
like
somebody.
Marshawn Lynch, and that man wasn't fast.
Yeah. So back to your
I want to hear your comp
points. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll start off with this one because it was said by I don't know if you remember, Dana Holgorsen used to be the head coach at West Virginia.
Okay.
Well, he's been the offensive coordinator in Nebraska for 2 years now. And these were his words. And it came out a lot by the announcers this year. And I agree with it. He is a poor man's Christian McCaffrey. Because he's not as fast as Christian McCaffrey, but he's got the footwork. He can catch the ball. So he's a little bit lower version of Christian McCaffrey. That's not bad. I mean,
it's not bad. No,
that's not a bad thing. Now, if you want to get to some other guys that maybe that's who he is, a Kareem Hunt.
Okay, I can see that.
Or another guy that you and I just keep waiting to take off. At what point is Tyjae Spears going to take off? Like,
I don't know. He might never. If they draft Jeremiah Love, he might never take off.
Yeah, I know, but
same type of guy like Ray Davis, a little bit like Ray Davis.
Better
Ray Davis. Yeah. Same style.
I still like the Christian McCaffrey, the poor man's version, which gives me a segue into a landing spot. 49ers would be a great landing spot. If you paired him with McCaffrey needs a blow for a few plays, or McCaffrey needs a series off, or as we all know, Christian McCaffrey gets injured. He didn't get injured last year.
So he's due.
Right. And we don't want to see that.
We don't want to see that.
We don't want to see that at all.
Due.
But imagine what Shanahan could do by just plugging him into that offense. Maybe they bring him in second down, third down, whatever.
He'd be great in the Jets too. He'd be great as a Jet. Let them move on from
anybody should be good at the Jets.
Let them move on from
anybody.
Let them move on from Breece Hall. That'd be a great spot for him.
Yeah, but you know who I like, segue or shifting gears. I have Braylon Allen. And I keep waiting for the Jets to just plug him in.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Because Braylon, actually, I could compare him more to Braylon Allen than Braylon Allen's less of a receiver, but same kind of like running style.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
so Niners are one spot.
Niners are a great spot for him, actually.
Because he's not, I'll tell you right now, he doesn't fit that mold of being the guy. He needs to be the complimentary guy.
Right.
But who knows? Down the road, maybe if he gets on the right team. And
I'm trying to think where else I could see him.
Well, let me give you the ones I have here. Minnesota. You got Madison,
spot.
you got Jones.
Great
he
spot.
could maybe push Madison out a little bit. And then you got him and Jones, and you got those receivers.
That was
Jefferson,
the other spot I had for Jonah Coleman.
You got Kevin O'Connell. You got now Kyler's slinging
They might sign Aaron Jones for another year again, but that's a great spot. I had Jonah Coleman as a good spot for the Vikings. Honestly, Vikings should go. You know, the best is Vikings should trade up and go get Jeremiah Love. That would be great for that offense.
Oh, that would put them back in the mix in their division.
Yeah, but that's a good spot for them because it fits the way their offense plays.
Yeah, it does. Now, a couple other ones. Dallas, they could use him as I don't want to say a third down back, but
as a
complimentary back to Murray.
To Javonte, yeah.
I'm sorry. You got me thinking.
DeMarco Murray back in the day.
You got me thinking. Yeah, you got me going in the way back machine. I'm really you got me excited.
It's been a while since Dallas had a run. Since Dallas had a run game.
I was like, come on, bring back DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray.
Back in the day. And here's one that, don't you think Andy Reid needs another toy to play with?
Oh, K9 would be pissed if he went there, but yes.
But you know what? Hey, you could pair two. You got K9 and he paired with Carbon A. He could be a Carbon A.
Yeah.
Just pair him.
I'm all for a committee when they complement each other.
Yes.
I hate committees of the same type of back.
Yeah.
Like I don't like
that
when you have back A and back A too. Like what Detroit did well was you had two different style backs, and that run game was dangerous because of it. And I love that.
Yeah, they did it. Like, it was amazing.
Committee backs need to be approached that. You need to have two different styles to make it perfect. If you have two of the same, like Tennessee, like you said, Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard, they play the same way. It's a pointless committee.
Right.
It's like you're not changing anything. You're just giving fresh legs, and you're not really doing that much with it.
Yeah.
So
here's my closing advice here. If you're looking at Emmett Johnson to draft in your dynasty league, I would wait till the 4th round. I honestly would. And
say, you think he'll stick to 4th? I can see him going late 2nd, early 3rd.
Let me change it to early 4th. Like I wouldn't go late 4th. Go early 4th. Or late 3rd.
If he's there, don't leave the draft without him.
And when I say 4, I'm talking about a 12 team or a 10 team with 4 rounds. But if you're on a team that's already built to win and you don't need players, snag him in the 2nd round.
Snag him and sit.
Snag him and sit him. That's what I would do.
He's a snag and sit.
He's a snag and sit. Yeah.
That has got to be. That's a t-shirt.
Let's trademark that. You didn't hear this. Sit. We got a snag and sit here.
Shirts for sale soon. Snag and sit.
There you go. And obviously, he's an NFL player. He'll have a good career. I think he'll have a great career in the NFL. Like fantasy wise, we'll see.
He'll get into opportunity. He'll be an injury or a retirement or a trade away from being a starting running back somewhere.
But you know what? Think about it from NFL players' perspectives. Like think of it from his perspective. He doesn't give to what about fantasy. He's just making a living, and if he can have a 10, 15-year career,
he's happy.
He's happy, like a lot of these guys are, right? They're just making a living.
He's trying, yeah.
We're the ones that sit around and say, "Hey, why didn't you get me 100 yards receiving last week?"
We're yelling at you from the sofa like we own some sort of you.
But
so Statman, this was fun. But before we go, I know we got one more wardrobe change.
Oh, we got one more.
You want to talk about something a little different? So we both got nets. I got to cut the net when you win the NCAA championships because you brought these.
Yeah.
These are
just for the record, this podcast is not sponsored by State Farm.
Unless you want to sponsor us, but.
Yeah, but you know what? They have the best commercials right now.
That is true. At the time we're filming this.
Yes, today. Literally right now.
Right now, the women's is on.
Yes, the women's Final Four is on right now. And guess who I'm pulling for in the women's Final Four? There you go.
And the men's is about to happen. So we figured we were going to make our predictions.
Yeah.
And then by the time this airs, we're going to look really right or really wrong.
I think we're going to look great. We already look great now.
It's the hats, honestly. If you would have told me I was doing a podcast with an upside down net, I never would have believed you, but I like it.
Nothing but net.
I say you got your UConn versus Illinois.
Okay, you want to start with the men? We're starting with the men. All right. I didn't hear it anyway. So, you're asking me, UConn men.
UConn, we're going to go with
Illinois.
the men's because that's what I've been paying more attention to.
All right, great.
UConn, Illinois, number 2 versus number 3.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think. UConn men, they got very lucky last week when they pulled out that miracle against Duke. I think Illinois is the better team. However, sometimes when you win a championship or get to a championship, you need a little bit of luck. So I'm pulling for Illinois, but we're here to tell you who's going to win. I'm thinking UConn. I think a UConn wins.
Is there a chance that UConn takes both this year? Do you think they have it?
There's possible. It's possible.
I mean, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see UConn win men's and women's. That would be great.
Yeah. What do you think about UConn?
I feel like that college would burn down.
No, it wouldn't. I got a story about that then too.
Burning colleges down? You should not.
No.
Well, I know.
What do you think? The Illinois, UConn?
I like UConn.
All right.
I like UConn. I just think
we both think UConn's going to win that game.
I think UConn that game, right. But I think it's Michigan's year.
All right, so we both think Michigan, Arizona. I tell you what, that's going to be the best game.
This will be a good game. 2 number 1 seeds is going to be good.
Oh my gosh, Arizona and Michigan. I'm going to go with Michigan too. I think Michigan has been the best consistent team.
They're playing
all
well.
year. I know Duke was one of the best consistent, but they're not in the conversation tonight.
No, we don't get to talk about them. So, but I'm a North Carolina Tar Heels fan, so good. I'm glad we're not talking about Duke right now.
And I'm a Louisville fan, and that's an ACC team. So yeah, we're not talking about
Duke. But no, Michigan's consistent. Michigan has been playing well. It is really hard to just say that that's not their year.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona will have something to say about it. I can't wait to watch that game tomorrow.
I think
it's going to be amazing. So we're going with UConn, Michigan.
UConn, Michigan for the championship.
UConn, Michigan. All right, what do we got here? What are you thinking? I already know what I'm thinking.
I'm saying Michigan.
I am too. I think the clock strikes midnight for UConn.
I mean, I think UConn,
I got the shirt on, but this is for the women's.
I think UConn. I think beating Illinois. I think no one. I think it's funny. Like UConn's the 2 seed, Illinois is the 3 seed, but it's funny. Illinois is the favorite, but I still think that's UConn's game.
Yeah, I think they're going to find a way. I think Hurley, the coach, Danny Hurley, finds a way to get his team motivated, and they find a way to win.
It's Michigan's year to lose it. Even Arizona, that's going to be a great game.
Oh, yeah.
I think UConn matches up better against Arizona than they do Michigan.
Yes.
But I don't. It's going to be a close game. If Michigan beats Arizona, it's Michigan's year.
Yeah.
If Arizona beats Michigan, I could see UConn winning it all.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I'd go Arizona at that point. But
yeah,
I just think Arizona finally.
I just think it's Michigan's year. I mean, it's
find a way to get
Michigan's
year. Yeah, Michigan's set up to win this. So we're in agreement. It's going to be Michigan. For the men's, we'll see how it turns out. All right, let's flip over to
this is all you on the women's. I have not been paying much attention to women's.
I'll tell you what, I'll map it out for you here. So
you hit them with it,
which is no surprise in the women's side. They every year.
This is what I got to do.
Yeah, every year they tend to have a lot more better teams. This year is no different. There were a lot of very good 10 or 12 women's teams that were just very good. But at the end of the day, on the women's side, it's always the number 1 seeds. You got 4 number 1 seeds. So you got
that's the weird thing about the women's bracket. It
always gravitates back to the
it's
number
not
1
like
seeds.
The men's where you have some of these Cinderella, these sleepers.
No, you very rarely have a Cinderella. So with that being said, myself and my family, we are a big UConn women's.
How many years
team.
Was it a while back? How many years in a row was it UConn that was like didn't lose or?
It
was like 4 or 5 years. It was like 4 or 5 years in a row, like
some
that, right?
Crazy number. Now they're on this incredible streak since they won it last year. They haven't lost this year and the year before. So they're on a heater.
I want whatever pill UConn women's basketball is taking. I want that pill.
Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. Up until a couple years ago, they just couldn't get it done. They kept running into the South Carolina buzzsaw.
All of a sudden, they hit a wall. They're like,
when I say hit a wall, they kept making the Final Four or the championship and kept losing. I mean, some teams would love to do that, right?
But it's funny you say that, though. You're right with the women's. It always is. It's the top seeds.
Yeah.
Like here, you got a 2, a 3, a 1, and a 1. You don't get that in the women's. It's 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah. So they're playing South Carolina, which has been a nemesis for UConn a few years ago. They couldn't beat them. And last year they put it on them. They knocked them out. Excuse me.
So is this a revenge game for them?
Well, for South Carolina, I'm sure they circled this because UConn took care of them. They're like, look, we're going to get you. But UConn's just on a roll right now. They're on a roll.
I would like to see both. I mean, it would be kind of cool
going
to see
right
UConn
now, by the
win.
way. So we'll check it out. Or are you going to give us a scoring update?
I'll give you a scoring update.
It should be halftime. So let's see how good we are. I bet you I'm going to go UConn's up 7 at the half.
Halftime, UConn 26, South Carolina 24.
I was close. UConn's up 2.
26-24.
I'm going to say UConn wins out in this game. Now the other side, this is going to be your Michigan Arizona side of the coin. You have Texas
and UCLA.
UCLA got bounced last year by UConn. So UCLA, they would love to get to the finals.
I like UCLA.
Texas is they're just.
I don't know.
What I can't think of the word, but they'll go out and they'll get after you.
They're gritty.
Like they're gritty. Thank you. They're gritty. They do the gritty. I can't do
the
gritty.
They're gritty. They play defense.
They play defense and they could back it up with some offense. So if you're going to beat Texas,
I think women's basketball comes down to the teams that play better defense too.
Well, then I think
not. I'm saying
the team that's going to be more hard nosed.
Yeah, the tougher team generally wins.
Right. Yeah, and I would say for that reason, maybe Texas beats UCLA.
So
that's the only
Texas,
reason.
UConn.
Texas, UConn. Quite honestly, I'd take UConn over anybody at this point. I think they're toughest.
I think the world was right when UConn kept winning championships for women.
Yeah, that's when the world was right.
That was when interest rates and houses were selling.
Do you remember somebody named Rebecca Lobo and she was winning all those?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, she's a commentator for ESPN now. I know you don't. God. So she's doing all these games, whether UConn's in it or not, but she always does the big games. She needs to be her. She's a good commentator.
It needs to be her.
Yeah. So you're asking me. I'm thinking it's UConn, Texas.
So UConn, Texas, UConn taking it all.
I'm thinking UConn, yeah.
So UConn for the women, and we're saying Michigan for the men?
Yeah, that's why I would go with.
I like it.
We would go with that? Yeah.
I like it. All right.
Right. That was your bonus podcast.
Bonus at the end of the Booze Ballin podcast. We had the stat man, the commish, the man, the myth, the legend on the podcast. He will be back for more of these. This man just loves his stats.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
I love this podcast, man.
Thank you for joining today. This is great.
This was awesome. I want to do it again.
You will. All right. Well, this has been Booze Ballin, the stat man, commish. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you. Peace out.
We say, Puka Nuka.
Cyclone.